MC Benny.
Come on, East Africa. It's a party.
Tell them. Afrika Mashariki. Waje pamoja.
Country to country, yeah. We gotta work together. We are leaders now. Aiming hard for the better together. To make our nations greater, we're sharing to the power. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We believe, let your dream be our reality. We believe, let your dream be our reality.
Together we shape with responsibility as young people. With ability, here we are to take the opportunity to raise the flag of East Africa. Together with love, together with peace, together respond to our need, together transform our community as we see light and a brighter future. Let's join hands for youth and women.
Afrika Mashariki yote twaungana, vijana vijana kutoka Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi hadi South Sudan na Rwanda. Kwaja pamoja ili fanye nini?
You lead, so you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We believe, let your dream be our reality. We believe, let your dream be our reality.
MC Benny.
All right. Good morning, Africa. How are you doing? It's been a minute since we last caught up, and we are back with a check-in. I see people already in the comments. That's lovely. But first, introductions as always. My name is Sebastian, Segawa Ivan Sebastian, and I am the East African Community Youth Ambassador to Uganda. I have colleagues that will be joining me as always in studio. They are yet to join, but as soon as they do, I will let them introduce themselves. But first, some shouts out. I see you, Khalid Shaban. Khalid is tuning in from Tanzania. Oh, Khalid, there is a conversation we are going to be having around Tanzania today. I would like to have your input. I need to know the environment around Tanzania following the weekend where the president shared her views on female footballers. It has been an outburst on Twitter. I want to know whether some Tanzanians share in her view or they don't. I also see you, Odirile Mothoyomotona. I hope I got that right. You say hello with emojis. Lovely. Hello to you too. We would like to know where you are tuning in from. Please tell us and tell us what is happening there. We want to know. And you know the intention of the check-in is for us to get connected regardless of where we are, but for us to have that knowledge. Yeah, I also see you, Namara Amos. Amos says he's tuning in from Uganda. Good to be here again. Thank you for always tuning in, Amos. I should actually share the link for some of you colleagues who have joined early today to join me here in studio. Ambassador Elias Odiambo, today you have chosen to view us from Facebook. You usually have exclusive invitation to the studio here, but we are very happy to hear from you. And for those who don't know, Ambassador Elias has recently graduated from law school. So big congratulations to you, Your Excellency. And you say you're tuning in from Nairobi. I hope Nairobi is amazing. Odirile is saying he's tuning in from Botswana. How is Southern Africa this morning? I have shared the link That is the link. I've shared the link up on the chat. For those who are keen to join me in studio, you are most welcome. And fast forward to what we are going to be discussing today. I want to give you a lineup, but of course, you know that with the very many conversations all over the world, we always get off script and address other issues as they come up. But today we are going to discuss about three things. The first being the new dawn for Zambia. You know, it is very exciting. They got their, they had their elections. Speak of Zambia, and we have Gift to Nupe Kangale saying they are tuning in from Zambia. It is exciting to hear from you. We would like to know what is happening in Zambia. I know yesterday was a massive day because the new president was swearing in. We would love to get a real picture from someone on ground, away from what the internet has been telling us. But quick forward, so we are discussing Zambia, and then we are also discussing the issue of Afghanistan specifically, because the spillover of the evacuees, that's what they are calling them now. They are no longer refugees, but they are called evacuees, are coming to Africa and specifically to Uganda. And then we are also going to discuss the issue I've already told you about Tanzania, and some of the statements that were made by Her Excellency Samia Suluhu. I would like to know what young people think of it. And then, of course, we'll be hearing from you and what is happening where you're from. But for now, I would like to first of all send my sincere condolences to the government of Uganda, the people of Uganda. Uganda, in the last week, has lost three army generals, and among the three was the serving Deputy Inspector General of Police. We condone with the people of Uganda, and we condole with the people of Uganda, and we wish the departed souls of their servicemen to rest in eternal peace. And we shall take just a couple of moments. And there we have, we do pray for the government, the forces in Uganda, and the families of the departed servicemen. And of course, for all Africans who have lost their loved ones, we stand with you in prayer and spirit. I'm still getting people tuning in today, watching from Zambia, Grace Kapakala. Guys from Zambia, I'm really excited to have you here on the show. Gift and Grace, if you could join that link I have shared. I have so much I want to hear from you. And we see you, Donang. Donang is saying he's from Chad. Thank you for joining us today. All right, so fast forward. Yesterday was the swearing-in ceremony of the new president of Chad, and like for those of you who have not been following the check-ins, I mean, not of Chad, of Zambia. I just read Donang's comment here, and it has taken me to Chad. But from Zambia, and those of you who have not been following, His Excellency Hichilema is the new president of Zambia. He was an opposition candidate. I repeat this because it means so much for us in Africa, mostly for the people who are always in the opposition during elections. And a rhetoric, I know, for example, in my country, a rhetoric has been running around that they can never win. But I just want them to know that, of course, you can win. It happens. And Zambia has showed us that it can. So, His Excellency Hichilema won by close to 1 million votes. And that was the difference between him and the reigning president. 1 million, guys. And it was massive. And for those of you who have also been following closely, that conversation was largely influenced by young people, the young voices. The young people in Zambia decided that we're putting our foot down. We are getting leadership that we want, leadership that is going to listen to us, that is going to prioritize our work and our interests. And we do pray that the new government, does that the new government serves the interest of young people. It is simply a test of time, and we shall know whether young people made a good bet on the government. But I've been following very closely the president. He is very vocal on the internet, which is a good thing. I personally share the view that when you have a president who recognizes the role social media plays in leadership in the 21st century, it is a very, very good thing, because then you know that a lot of things that are pushed by the internet are going to be prioritized. And thank you, Gift, for joining me. It is very exciting to have you for the first time here. I want you to first introduce yourself, tell us what you do, where in Zambia you are, before we get into the big questions around the election and the young people. Over to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
My name is Gift Kangele, and I'm a student. I'm studying environmental engineering at Russian State Agrarian University, but currently I'm in Zambia, and I'm in Mazabuka, that is on the southern province of Zambia.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So a lot has been happening since the 12th of August, when you guys went to polls.
Yes.
I just need to know what was the environment around elections, and what is the environment around the new leadership? What happened yesterday? I heard that there were parades while the president was going to swear in. What was the situation?
I think the situation got a little bit so charged even before the 12th of August. A lot of people were looking forward to the general elections. I think these elections, we saw a lot of youths turn up to vote. Even the people who were not willing to vote turned up to vote, and you could see that even those that had not registered as voters were regretting, and they were asking themselves questions why they didn't register to vote. So a lot of people turned up to vote. They were really so much interested in participating in these elections. Even during the elections, we saw an atmosphere that provided the environment where citizens just exercised their rights. It was peaceful. A lot of people turned up as early as 0102 just to be able to vote, even when voting was starting around 06 hours. And we could see that people even went as far as 05 the next day, even when voting was supposed to be closed at 18 hours. So a lot of people were expectant. It was at the end of the day, the people spoke. So it was peaceful, it was okay, and we had a huge turnout. And concerning the swearing in of the new president, again, it was the same situation. The swearing in was supposed to start, that was yesterday around 8 hours, but we could see people going to the stadium as early as 01. So you could see how much people were so expectant of these events, and their willingness to participate was just so overwhelming.
Wow. It is very exciting to hear that. And now I'll just have my colleague, Beatrice, to introduce herself. And if she has any questions for you too. She was excited the other day to have someone from Zambia talk about the election. Hi, Beatrice. Where are you this morning?
Hi, everyone. Beatrice tuning in from Arusha, Tanzania. And no, this was last week's session. I thought we were, we were catching up on this week. He's putting me on the spot.
So I'll tell you why. I was watching, and Gift, I want to get your views on this. I saw this young couple who were donned in these shirts yesterday at the president's swearing in. And they said that talk is cheap, we took it to the polls. And I'm like, okay. I don't know whether you guys can see my photo.
Yes,
no,
I
I
can.
can see it.
And then
there was also
and
I just wanted to add to that. I've been seeing memes around as well of people saying, ask me how Zambian youth are, and they're saying we voted out we voted, we're the majority votes or something like that. And it's so nice to see young people taking ownership of these processes, though. Like, it's very encouraging for other nations all across. So power to young people.
All right. So Gift, were you able to go to the swearing in yesterday?
I wasn't able to go. I wasn't able to go because the turnout was just huge. What really happened was the actual stadium where the events were taking place was filled up such that they started using other stadiums where people were just watching from the screens and all that. So I just stayed home and I was catching it live from the television.
Just to note, we were represented. Tanzania was there.
Yeah, I had. And Beatrice, now that you're here, there is an interesting conversation around Tanzania. You know, over the weekend, and I will also want to share gifts thoughts on this. But first, we have Mafunda joining us. Mafunda, how are you? Where are you? And what's happening there?
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. My name is Mafunda Kombofaki, and the East Africa Community's ambassador to Tanzania. I'm now tuning in from Zanzibar, and there are some of the things that are happening here. One of them is Tiaimon is happening in Zanzibar this year for the first time. And if you don't know about Tiaimon, it's Tanzania International Mode of United Nations. So it's happening in Zanzibar, and this year, they're discussing on youth engagement toward realization of sustainable development goals, decade of action. So lots of youth are there attending, and we hope to see a lot of things are happening, and they're getting more experiences on how United Nations act, how they're acting, and Secretary General and everything. So it's a good thing to see that it's happening in Tanzania. In Zanzibar. And something else, we received a good news yesterday. We saw that the new investment that is going to happen in Zanzibar, which is Zanzibar to build Africa's second tallest building, East and Central Africa largest hotel. And that one is going to be called a Zanzibar Domino Commercial Tower. So we can't wait for that. And then we're still following up the conversations.
We're being put on the map, guys. We're being put on the map.
Oh, right, yeah, Tanzania. You see?
All right, Tanzania, we see you. We see you, but no one can take the shine from Zambia this month. Nobody. Nobody. All right. So Khalid Shaban. Khalid is also from Tanzania. Khalid is asking whether we can, sir, can't you? Oh, Khalid, please call me Sebastian. Don't say sir. Don't.
Yes. Sir.
Can't you make it and allow mobile devices to live coverage? Khalid, every device you have, provided you connect with the link, you are able to join me. I don't know, Gift, are you using a mobile device or a computer?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself. Yes, I'm using a mobile device. So actually what's happening is when you click the link, it will open using the Facebook browser. So you need to redirect it to a web browser for you to be able to join in.
All right, so Khalid, there you have it. You can just make sure you open the link from your web browser and you'll be able to join us here. And we also see you, Mbedzi Tukudzwa. Hey, these Southern African names.
Yes, I was about to say.
I hope I got that right. And he's tuning in from Zimbabwe. I would like to know what part of Zimbabwe. I think I only know 3. Gweru, Harare, and I've even forgotten the third one. But I would like to know what part of Zimbabwe you're tuning in from. But all right, fast forward to Tanzania. Congratulations on the Model United Nations that is happening in Zanzibar. Congratulations on the plans to build Africa's second tallest building. I'm sure the first will be in Uganda very, very soon.
This is in Egypt.
He's trying to be exotic in this call and encourage his country.
Over the weekend, something interesting happened. So the president, Madam High Excellency, Mama Suluhu Samia, had an event where she was requested to fund the Tanzanian female football team to, I think, do a tournament or something in the line. And then, of course, she was open to the idea. She congratulated the team and thanked them for the glory gold that they have brought to Tanzania over the years. And then she had an interesting comment to make, saying that she's concerned that these sports girls might not get married because most of them, because of the workout sessions, they make them look like men and you cannot differentiate them. And the internet broke. The internet broke. Yeah. So I've been reading wild schools of thoughts. Of course, there are people who are in the president's corner saying that, it is true. It is true for some cases that working out does get your body muscular. But okay, Beatrice.
I I stand in between. Okay, so I'm a very, I wouldn't say athletic person, but I'm very active. And it's not true. It's just the mindset that we have and the culture that we've endorsed in this country. That if and I would not want to make these comments, but if you're athletic and you're slim, it's either you're not fed well or you're having troubles and stress. So now to hear such a comment, and I'm sure, I'm hoping in this case it was misplaced and she did not mean it in that sense. But there is really a huge mindset transformation that needs to happen regarding fitness and health all across. And for me, it's one step forward that she has taken to support the football team anyway, because even those statement endorsements are something big, because before it was not even allowed. Like, it's not something that was encouraged or supported at all to have female football players. So she stands in between, and that's what I'm saying. I hope that comment was misplaced, because it's also a narrative that needs to be changed within our culture. And I saw the comments that were on social media. Guys, we athletic and fit people, we come in different forms and shapes.
All right. Fast forward. Mafunda, are you still with us? Yes, because usually during the show, your internet sometimes fails. Right after.
I'm still here.
But okay. So Mafunda, I need to know. I know that you are a sports person yourself. You have been doing yoga over the years. What do you make of the president's statement?
I think everyone can translate the statement whichever they want, but I think she's saying that because of the culture that was before, because everybody thought like women cannot play football, women cannot do exercises, women can do nothing, So I think she said that because of the mindset that was there before, like it's hard to get married, it's hard but I don't think it's in there right now. We've seen like most of women are doing workouts, are doing exercises, are doing sports, and they're married. It's about choice sometimes, I can see. And it's about choice. If someone wants to get married, someone to have a family, they can have who they are. You can be like someone doing boxing and get many children, So I think everybody can interpret whichever the way they want. But to me, even to myself, I can say like, okay, I do workout, I go to gym, I do this yoga thing and my meditation. But I also know that I'm gonna get married one day and have children, and that is gonna be okay. So it's a mindset change. And we do not know what she meant when she said that. She has her point. And if someone goes there and asks her, like, what did you mean? Maybe if she can explain that, everybody, we can know that what did she mean and which point she was exactly pointing out. And other people can also judge and say whatever they wish because they know what they understand in their mind. So yeah, I can say that.
All right.
And to note, I think we have a tendency of holding on to comments that are negative but rather positive. In her statement, she made very positive remarks, saying that women who go through these processes of being athletes, when they retire, they go through so many health, mental and physical issues. And she emphasized that young women need to better be monitored better and make sure that, you know, these companies and sports endorsements that are coming in are also put in place to support them in terms of recovering and whatnot. But also, again, this needs to be compared to the previous statements that were being made with our former head of state, His Excellency President Magufuli, where he had a completely different stance on sports and culture and whatnot. So now it's just a step forward. Yes, the statement was misconstrued, but look at the bigger picture. We're endorsing things that were not being endorsed before, and they're providing opportunities for young people all across, whether it's in sports, culture, media, arts. So there's a lot of positive that comes from that statement, just beyond the comment of marriage and and whatnot. And that's how I take it.
All right.
Yeah.
The president clearly has the ladies in her corner. But we do thank Her Excellency for backing the female team. On the issue of discussing sports, female sports, I need to point it out that Uganda is reigning champion in the region when it comes
You
to
were going to
female
bring it.
football. Very important to note. Welcome back. Gift, I see you have changed location or the shirt, one of the two. Okay.
Why you notice that, Seba?
Rashid Hamad from Kenya, we see you. And then before Gift weighs in on the president's statement, Namara from Uganda, Amos says that the issue is the culture and what they determine as gender roles. I agree. And I know that Tanzania has been quite conservative, and the president herself becoming a head of state was breaking the ceiling in the
Yeah.
culture of the country. So yeah, we are going. Gift, do you also agree with the ladies that some statements are made, but we usually need to look at the bigger picture, like the support and the endorsement that she gave to these young ladies, and the advice, of course, she gave them that there have been traumatic challenges after the games, after the career, and therefore they should look into looking for professional help while at it, so that the end game is clean for them. Do you agree?
I think I'll go with what everyone said just here in the discussion. I had a point coming out to say sometimes we tend to focus so much on the negative than we do on the positive. So you discover that maybe in her statement there was a lot of positive things that would have carried out, in as much as it is to some extent true, though we don't want to take it as a general. It's just we don't want to make it like it's the conclusion of the whole matter, but in as much as it doesn't really align with us, we still need to look into it and just to ensure that the people's mental health are taken care of, and everyone is okay at the end of the day.
All right.
I'm glad he responded positively, because we would have gone.
All right. We have Emmanuel Saulo. Emmanuel is from, I will not tell you where Emmanuel is from. Hi, Emma. Thank you for tuning in. Tell us where you are and what is happening there. It's been a minute.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, Ivan. Good morning for the great people of Zambia. I just
Thank
tuned in
you.
to say congratulations for you guys. Mafunda, good morning to people
Yes.
of Zanzibar.
Good morning.
Good morning to people of Arusha, Tanzania.
I was waiting for the same energy.
I swear, if you don't mention Kampala. Emmanuel, if you don't mention Kampala.
However, Beatrice, seriously, I just want to understand what has the president said in regard to the footballers, to the female footballers.
we just came from wrapping this up right now. But I'm sure.
Anyway, I'm tuning in from South Sudan. I'm called Emmanuel Saulo. I've just tuned in to say congratulations to the great people of Zambia. And I heard Mafunda was saying that they're building the tallest building in East Africa. Congratulations to Tanzania.
In
Yes.
Africa,
Thank
we
you.
wish
Yes,
we
we're
wish that
making
South
it.
Sudan will build the tallest. Then Uganda will go the second. Zanzibar will go the third.
Oh, 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 whoa, whoa.
It's okay. It's okay to be jealous, but again, let's support as well.
Of course.
okay.
And we know
Anyways,
that
I'm just.
there will be like we started and you follow. Yeah,
Okay.
It's okay.
that's cool.
Now, going on
That's
to our
okay.
next conversation, it's a good thing that we have Emmanuel here. I would like to share his views on it. But first, I just want to inform everyone that we need to pray for Haiti as much as we are praying for Afghanistan and all other countries. Haiti, recently they have been struggling in the pandemic like the rest of the world. Then they got their president assassinated. And then now they have had a terrible earthquake that has claimed a couple of lives and rendered very many injured and displaced. So prayers out there. In my culture, we have a saying that is very unkind to people who have very many misfortunes befall them. I don't know who created it, but African sayings are ruthless, you people. All right. But away from Haiti, we wanted us now to have a small conversation about Kabul. We all know that Kabul, sometime last week or the other week, was taken over by the Taliban, and very many people have been struggling to leave the country, even though the Taliban have said that they are going to uphold human rights and respect women's rights and encourage education of the girl child, let the women who have been working go back to work, which has not been a narrative that they have shared before. But I think in regards to acknowledgement of the international community, the adjustments that they are trying to make. My prayer is that their promises come true. But while we are at it, this morning, 51, they are not called refugees. Apparently, they are called evacuees. Afghan evacuees arrived in Uganda, and they are said to stay here for between 2 weeks and 4 months. They will be definitely paid for. I've shared the official press release by the government of Uganda. And I just wanted to ask, what do you guys make of these situations of our countries who are arguably a couple of distances from the Middle East, taking in refugees from such places like Afghanistan? Considering that many Africans are anyway dying at sea, trying to go and, I just want to borrow your minds, guys. I'll start with you, Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you, because I will leave shortly. I think it is a noble thing from the people of Uganda to host some Afghanistan, or to host some of these people coming from Kabul to Uganda. Putting in mind that Uganda has been generous for the East Africa. It's not the first time we hear that Uganda is hosting refugees, because many of my country people currently residing at camps in Uganda and other countries, not just South Sudan. So I think it is a noble, and it's a message that to the world that, guys, what Europe can do, or the Western world, or the first world, also the third world can do. I think it is a noble to give these asylum seekers, or to give these refugees place to settle, because we know how Taliban, they're killing people. It's miserable, and I think it is noble, and I give a big applaud for the people of Uganda. So Ivan, you got the credit.
We have been known to show leadership when it has been needed the most, and I personally thank my government for coming through. But Gift, are you having conversations around trying to help these people that are fleeing Afghanistan?
I think it's a crisis. I think it's a crisis. What really transpired in Afghanistan is so unfortunate. We don't know if there could have been better ways in which it could have been handled, because now we have a situation where these people are no longer being called refugees, but they're being called evacuees. But we should understand that these are people who are leaving their country, and no one wants to be found in such a situation where you have to flee to another country to find a better life. We should have been focusing on how we can create a better life for them in their country, which seems to be a little bit of impossible right now. So we kudos to Uganda for taking up rising to the occasion and accepting its people in the country and trying to give them what they can, because we really need a lot of people to come on board and offer such help to these people. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about life here. We're talking about other citizens. So we can just say kudos to Uganda for taking up that role in ensuring that they accommodate these people.
All right, Beatrice, I don't want to bring you in on the issue of refugees. And I'm not putting you on the spot. Stop with the accusations. But do you think Africa as a continent is taking lessons? Because you see, the situation of America in Afghanistan is the same situation of AMISOM in Somalia. We have been there now about what? About 17, 18 years?
And I was actually going to I was going to comment on that yes, it's very noble, and I think correct me if I'm wrong. I was reading a couple of articles about the situation as well, and it says that Uganda is one of the poorest countries in the world. So then for you as a nation to then accommodate evacuees, from 2,000 evacuees from Afghanistan is quite, it's very noble, yes. And it sets a good pace for countries all across Africa in terms of borrowing a model of being able to respond to such situations upon need basis, because no one anticipated that this would happen. And it has. So how are we all stepping up to the table as nations to support the cause? I know we're in the midst of so many tragedies and crises that are happening across the globe. Like at this point, you can't even keep track. You wake up in the morning, it's something happening in West Africa, it's something happening in East Africa or across the world. So it's a good and noble cause at the right time. I think that's the best way to frame it. There is a need, and Uganda has responded to the need, needing space and to accommodate evacuees. So it's a good model that needs to be replicated all across. Of course, subject to evaluation to country resources and capabilities to host citizens from a different country, evacuees from Afghanistan specifically. So there's a lot of factors that play into it that people need to consider. So it should not be reflected on other countries saying, why aren't you guys doing the same thing? But encourage and try to see how we can best borrow from Uganda in terms of practice.
All right, and Amos Namaro from Uganda says it shows what Africans stand for, Ubuntu, and we are proud and happy to help. And also just to set the record straight, the American government will be paying for the expenses of the evacuees staying in Uganda.
I saw that as well. But you never know. Again, it might have been part of the negotiations between them. We don't have the full details, that we don't have the resources. For as long as you're able to cover them, they can stay. And some countries might have the resources and say, we're willing to accommodate them for the 2-3 weeks that you need them to stay while you make foreseeable future plans. All right. That's why I said the subject.
Yes, Gift.
I think also, this situation is being attributed to the withdrawal of the United States from Afghanistan. So I think this, as African countries, we also need to draw lessons from this, in the sense that we need to be independent in some way. We shouldn't be so much relied on some other states in terms of how we run our countries, in terms of the things that get to our countries, or the general running of the country. We should reach a stage where even if they were to pull out their resources and all these other things, we should still remain stable. Because if if this happens, then I don't know where we're heading. African problems require African solutions, so we need to be independent.
On that very note, Gift, on African problems requiring African solutions, we have a challenge of the Al-Shabaab in Somalia. And AMISOM, the African Army, has been deployed there since 2007, right? And that's what, around 15, 16 years. My prayer is that we are learning a very big lesson, so that by the time AMISOM is withdrawing from Somalia, we do not have a situation where that was similar to that of the Taliban in Kabul. But anyway, unfortunately, our time is fast spent. We need to conclude this check-in. But before we go, tomorrow is Thursday, and y'all know what happens on Thursday. Yeah, it's the Thursday
Unplugged.
It's the Unplugged series, and the topic tomorrow is going to be mentorship for young leaders. And we are having two guests, and definitely Kemi, one of us here, will be hosting the Unplugged. And for those who still want to catch up with Beatrice, she will be part of the Unplugged tomorrow. All right, so tune in for the series. The Unplugged starts at 7 p.m. It will be live on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our YouTube, on our Gram, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But if you want to join the conversation live in the Zoom meeting, again, just check on all our social media platforms. Wherever you see this post, the one I have shared, you will see a link, and then you can join, register through that link, and you'll be able to join the series. But for now, it's time for us to say bye-bye, and we usually say it by saying goodbye in our local languages. That way we get
but I think
it's acceptable, Beatrice. A real language. So we shall start with
I think you've taken away the light from Zambia. Nevertheless, it will still come. We still have to talk about it. Okay. Bye in the local languages around here. So Zambia has a lot of local languages. I think I'll use Lunda. I don't have heard of it.
No, I haven't. In your region?
You haven't?
No.
Sorry?
Madam Sadak, have you heard of Lunda?
You're asking me? No. I was like, why would you ask me?
But you've heard of Spanish, right?
Yeah.
How is that? You've heard of Spanish and not Lunda.
No. I prefer Lunda. I prefer to hear Lunda.
So what is it?
It's an ethnic.
No, I'm saying like what is goodbye in
yeah.
I know, okay, I understand that concept because we even have it in Tanzania. There are multiple tribes and multiple languages here as well. But I just wanted to know the word.
Mushalihu.
That sounds like a Bantu language. Mushalihu. Is it Bantu?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Call me a linguistic, guys. Beatrice, it's your go.
Now, I hope my Chaga people don't disown me. I tried from the north of Tanzania, but I will choose to say goodbye in Kiswahili. So kwaherini na watakia siku njema.
All right. There are very many modes of saying goodbye to Kiswahili. But thank you so much, Africa, for tuning in. Thank you, everyone. Today we had Zimbabwe, we had Chad, we had Zambia, we had Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan. I'm making sure I do not miss out any country. We had Botswana. Yes, Botswana. I do remember you. Odirile. I did suffer with the name, but
Eesh.
so everyone who has tuned in from every angle of Africa, we are excited that you tuned in. Join us tomorrow for the Unplugged series at 7 p.m. And next time we are coming back. I have kept on promising that we shall be having the cast of the You Lead song. So on Monday, come with your voices ready or ears ready, because we
Some
are
of us have
having.
frogs lodged in our throats.
Yeah, Beatrice was part of the people who casted on the You Lead song. But on Monday, we are having the cast of the You Lead song give us a cappellas live here on the check-in. So I am excited to hear it. But anyway, from us to you, thank you so much, and do have a productive day. Cheers.
So you need.